I'm trying.
Keep the music from dying.
Marie.
I'm trying was like an anthem for us in Europe, man.
You know, um, Dr. Dennis Howard have a list. I don't know the list, but he talked about it. Of some of the greatest opening for songs. And I think I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
ranks right up there with any intro, reggae intro you can think about.
Really?
Yeah, man, with the horns and
Yeah,
everything, man.
yeah.
Good arrangement.
Listen, I want to talk about Desi Jones because, you know, listening to all of the commentary from Albo, because what's his name? Pianist, what his name?
Monty Alexander.
Monty Alexander did a tribute to him.
Yes, I actually spoke to Monty the night before he put the tribute out.
Right.
And we had a nice remembrance on the phone about Desi. So we both played in this band for a number of years.
Monty Alexander is one of the greatest jazzman coming out of Jamaica. Eh?
And the album ended with Ernie Wrangling.
But this is about Desi.
Desi, right.
And so Monty's tribute to Desi Jones blew me away, because that's when I realized, we know Desi Jones, we know about you guys' connection.
Mm-hmm.
But what Monty talked about is that this is a jazz man. Him say, first and foremost, Desi Jones is a jazz drummer. Him say, the business, the jazz music business in Jamaica is one of the wickedest, the cruelest blow that the business could have get when a man like him drum.
Yep.
Right? Because him say, it's not that Desi just a drummer. Desi played jazz.
Everything.
And because him is such a great jazz drummer, it makes him a great drummer generally.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to that to me, so the listeners can get.
Well, he always loved jazz. He had a passion for jazz. When we first started the band, he used to speak of some of the drummers that influenced him. There was a guy named Jack DeJohnette. There was a guy named Steve Gadd that he had a lot of praises for, and a guy named Cobham. And these guys were master jazz musicians, but they were like idols to Desi. When we would go on tour, whenever we had 2 or 3 days in a city, Desi would actually find a drummer. Whether them play salsa, whether them play jazz, rock, doesn't matter. Desi would find a drummer and take a lesson, pay to take a lesson from that drummer. This is the level of dedication and passion this man had for drums. So when you see, and he worked with Monty, and when you hear Monty praise him the way that he praised Desi, it's no idle talk. It's not because it's just a brethren that Monty lose. This man's skill was unparalleled in Jamaica. His drumming, he earned the right to be called a master drummer.
So much so that one of the major drum manufacturers in Japan actually has Desi as their front man for those drums.
Yes, he endorsed for them.
And there was a conversation he talked about when he endorsed our drums on the festival in Japan. When he was playing with their drums, he was the envy of all the other drummers in the band because his drum set sounded sweeter than everybody else.
It's quite possible. When we used to tour Europe, there was another company that sponsored Desi and sent a drum set to Desi specifications on the road with us. Because, Desi was unusual. His style of playing, Desi was what you call an open hand drummer. Most drummers cross their hand to play hi-hat and snare, but Desi being a left-hander play open like that. So his hi-hat is over here and his snare drum, so his chest is exposed, not crossing. So it's easier for him to play rolls and all like that because there's no contradiction of hand.
I'm listening to you, Wayne, and as consumers of the music, from different sides, we just hear the music. But, listening to people like yourself and some of the other stalwarts who have, come out and
Express
the
Mhm.
profound loss that the industry has experienced as a result of this. It kind of forces to kind of stop and take stock, because here we are. Here's a man who come from the rock. Which part we come from, him come from. And it just tells you the contribution that Jamaicans have made to music on a global scale.
Hi there. If you enjoyed that clip, go on over to our website at yardmedia.com, where you can watch the entire broadcast at your leisure. And while you're there, why don't you check out our other reggae music features? And before you leave, pick up some of our Jamaican reggae merchandise, and hey, don't forget to tell your friends.